Hey guys, Camp15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another One Piece anime episode review for you guys as we are continuing on with the Wano arc. And now, especially at the end of the episode, we are getting to the really interesting stuff that I've been just dying to see animated, but we're not there yet, but we're getting close to the moments. And obviously, with what we see from the five elders discussion, or the Gorosei, however you want to call them, that it's just very crazy that we're getting One Piece lore drop, and we're getting hints at the fact that seems like a certain devil fruit is not what it's supposed to be called. So yes, and in the meantime, we also have Luffy fighting a drunk Kaido, having some issues with that, but still fighting back. But anyways, let's get into this week's episode of One Piece. We start the episode off again with Momonosuke trying to do whatever he can to push back Onigashima from falling on top of the flower capital. That's not really working when things like that, so hopefully that starts to work out for him. Speaking of the flower capital, we do cut over to the flower capital for a bit. We do kind of see these drunk people and things like that. Obviously, the flower capital during the fire festival, they can pretty much do what they want without getting in trouble. And it's funny because there's this part where this guy's talking about Orochi in kind of a degrading term, but then this dude was like, "Hey, you need to be quiet. The officials might be watching," but they're like, "Nah, they're freaking doing the freaking lantern stuff." So we kind of cut over to the scene where we see Otoko running, and it's kind of like to this lantern area where we just see how these people just write to, I guess, people that are passed away on these lanterns and things like that. So you have Otoko with Tenguyama. If you forgot who he is, the big red nose guy, and pretty much she's just talking about how, you know, her dad and everything, obviously Yasui, and saying that, you know, she wants to make people laugh and smile and dance like he used to do, so she can make people happy and obviously have people being cheerful and things like that. And you kind of get a very sad, emotional moment here where pretty much what she writes on her lantern is that she wants to see her dad again. And Tengu sees that, and he just gets very emotional about that, because it sucks for this little girl that she lost her dad at a young age, mostly due to obviously this whole overthrowment of Orochi and Kaido and everything. And you can see why he gets pretty emotional about that, because again, for this little girl to lose her dad at probably an age maybe no less than, I guess, 6 or 5, I forgot how old Otoko is, but you know, she didn't deserve to lose her father at that young of an age. But obviously her father did a good thing for a cause, and it obviously was the steps to getting to where we're at today for the for the raid. If not for Yasui's contribution, well then who knows what happens. But again, it's still a really sad scene because, you know, it just pains you, and this happens with everybody. Even when you're an adult and your parents have long passed, there's always those days where you're like, man, I wish I could see my parents again. And you kind of take that for granted. So if you're a young kid, if you're a teenager watching this, take your parents for granted, because trust and believe, when they're gone, they'll be gone, and they won't be there to help you and things like that anymore. You'll just be on your own. And if you have a family, yeah, they'll be there, but you know, obviously you won't have your parents there to always watch over you and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, I dread for when that day happens for me. Even though sometimes when parents gets on my nerves, I still freaking care about them and I don't want to see them go, but you know, that's just how life works, you know. So yeah, anyways, we cut back to the top of Onigashima and what we get there and stuff like that. And it's pretty much Luffy and Kaido just fighting with one another, and all of a sudden Kaido just comes up and he just brings a freaking cup of sake or alcohol, pretty much, of beer. And obviously he just starts drinking and everything, and he's pretty much saying like, I'm getting real sick and tired of this crap, dude. You're just getting on my last damn nerve, Straw Hat. And obviously Luffy's like, are you drunk or something? And pretty much Kaido's talking like he's just regular Kaido, and all of a sudden he just starts hiccuping, and then, oh yeah, he's drunk, and then Luffy's like, you're drunk, damn it. Kaido is a little loopsy doozy, he's laughing, having a good old time, pretty much, and things like that. And then, obviously Luffy, he starts charging in like, okay, fine, don't blame me if I beat you and you use this excuse that you were drunk. You did this to yourself, pretty much. So Luffy goes in for some attacks, but Kaido goes instantly into his hybrid dragon form, which they made it look a little bit different this time. His dragon scale skin form, or his hybrid form, looked more indigo than blue. I don't know if that's like because he's drunk and everything, but it was interesting. They didn't keep this color palette on him for the entire time, but I don't know if it was like some sort of miscolor by the animation staff or something. But hey, he honestly looked kind of more like what I might say. Jesus, when I say Kaido has hiccups, I'm having hiccups right now. He kind of looks a little bit more like deadly in this like indigo form. Like, it makes it look like maybe he stepped his game up a bit. And it's like I said last week. This fight definitely felt like, when he went drunk, his fighting style is kind of off, where it throws Luffy a little bit off guard, and he kind of gets caught by surprise because he's like, wait, should I attack this guy being drunk? And two, what is this guy gonna do while he's drunk? Because I don't know what he's doing. It kind of reminded me at the time when Master Roshi fought Goku when in the World Martial Arts Tournament, when he did that, drunk like battle style. Now Master Roshi wasn't drunk like Kaido was in this episode, but he was fighting like he was a drunk man. But eventually Goku figured it out by going his own type of style. So yeah, go check out original Dragon Ball if you're a fan of Dragon Ball. That stuff is really good. But Luffy charges in, and Kaido just charges up this attack with his club, pretty much. The full move is called Ragnareku. I forgot the whole thing, but the move is called Ragnareku. Hits Luffy on the damn skull. Again, like, geez Louise, like how many freaking times we've seen this entire, not just arc, but, well, actually, yes, arc, but not just this one battle, but this entire arc. Luffy has been getting clubbed by Kaido, like, head first, freaking time. Like, I couldn't count. Like, when he first faced Kaido at the start of the series, he got clubbed like that, and he got knocked out, and here, I guess you could say he got knocked out a bit, but then he ends up getting back up this time, and he pretty much says, oh, I just let my guard down, too. Also, because of it, Kaido makes a bit of a hole on the top of Onigashima, so I guess the people that are in the main area can now look up and see, like, okay, wait, what the hell was that? So yes, well, Luffy, I guess, is knocked out for the time being for a bit, for like a few, I guess, seconds or maybe a minute or two. Kaido's in his dragon form, and he's just like, it's not fair, man. Look at this damage to my beautiful castle. Oh, man, it took so long to build this. So, yes, this guy, he's in the phase of his drunken state, where he's, like, crying now, and all the emotions are just flooding in. So he's just talking about how Onigashima is all messed up and how long it took for it to build. And he's like, I guess we'll have to build a new one, but hey, it is what it is. When I win this, we'll be running the flower capital, so I guess there's no need, but then again, we should make a new one. I'll make a new one. And stuff. So he just starts, like, absolutely just crying and everything, which is absolutely freaking funny when you see it. Probably, like, one of the different, like, I guess, character, like, I would say, like, I wouldn't say traits, but, like, how would I go to say this, like, character personality we see him? Like, we see him in this drunk state. He's kind of emotional, and based on, I guess, how his emotional state is when he's drunk, it makes him more deadly. Like, it would make more sense that, A, You know, if he is drunken emotionally because obviously he's mad and everything. Who knows? That's kind of the thing there. But what is it? Luffy gets back on me. He goes and say, "I let my guard down. You know, I ain't letting you freaking beat me again." Kaido, he reverts back into his hyper form. He doesn't look as indigo. He looks like the light blue and things like that. He starts talking about like a bunch of stuff that led up to this event and how pretty much Luffy's at the cause of all this. Goes on to talk about how Yamato turned on him and why Yamato would do something like that. You know, pretty much a bunch of other stuff that happened, you know, and then pretty much he's like, "It's all your fault, Straw Hat Luffy. It all is your fault. My Smile Devil Fruit Productions, my son turning on me, you destroying my castle, you messing up my party," which he does make a mention. I forgot to make a mention, like, Luffy doesn't, like, yeah, after I defeat you, we're gonna have a big banquet and we're gonna have a party and things like that. Because Kaido's like, "You messed up my banquet that I was having," so, yes, and obviously Kaido's like, "I blame your ass for all of this, and you're gonna die because of this." So, yes, you just have Luffy versus Drunken Kaido again. Luffy, I guess, in a way, kind of figures out how Kaido's fighting now, even though he still gets caught off guard by some of his attacks. But Luffy's firing attacks right then and there. And, yeah, Kaido's getting a little bit more pissed off because he's like, "Stop making me sober up, damn it." Because you remember, Luffy did fight a drunk Kaido when he first got to Wano and everything, when Luffy thought that that Kaido killed the other Straw Hats. We know that he was a little drunk in that dragon form for a bit until Luffy started pummeling him and then pretty much took the drunkenness out of him and sobered him up with all the hits he was dishing out. So, yeah, I think probably by the end of the episode, it looks like Kaido's more than likely sobered up. So it seems like, I guess, for Kaido, he doesn't have to drink a lot of water to sober up or take a nap and sober up. He just has to get enough hits to sober up. Luffy jumps into the air, and pretty much he starts firing off this another new, I guess, Gum move called Gum Rock Gatling, which is pretty much Elephant Gatling, but obviously it's infused with the Ryuo. So he's just firing them off. Kaido's pretty much, I forgot what the attack was. He's just freaking moving his club very fast, just like Luffy's moving his arms pretty fast. That it's just making multiple, like, hands and club ball. They hit each other, and yeah, they just kind of get back up and they're continuing their fight. So that's kind of where we go from there. Shockingly enough, the episode, as we get to the ending, cuts away from that fight from Onigashima, and we cut to the Holy Land of Marijois. And you're wondering, oh, why are we cutting here if you're an anime only? Because we're about to get some big lore drops and things like that. Now, obviously, when we cut to the Holy Land of Marijois, we focus in on the 5 elders, aka the Gorosei. They mean the same thing. I think Gorosei is like their Japanese translation or whatever. But anyways, all those guys are just sitting in the room and they're just talking like, yeah, this reverie was kind of catastrophic. Now remember, guys, at this point in time in the story, the reverie is completely over. It's over. All the kingdoms have officially went back to their home countries, and now Marijois is just Marijois. So, one, they make a mention that, okay, this reverie was effing catastrophic. Obviously, the last time we saw the reverie, we know Sabo was definitely involved, but it seems like they're hinting like maybe a lot more happened than what we initially saw back in the reverie arc. Now, they list some key things. One of the key things they list about the incident concerning the kingdom of Alabasta. Now, what that means, who the hell knows? Don't know what this means in the grand scheme of things. Well, actually, I do know what this means, which now that I read the manga and now when I understand the point of what they're talking about, the kingdom of Alabasta, in like maybe the coming months or maybe a year, probably more than likely, you'll find out. It's based on how fast the anime pacing is, but you'll find out what they what the Goras say mean in terms of the regard of the incident of the Alabasta Kingdom. Now, if you want to know what they're talking about, go read the manga, because that content is actually being discussed. Anyways, they talk about the incident regarding the Kingdom of Alabasta, and then they're obviously talking about the stuff taking place on Onigashima with Big Mom and Kaido in the fight, and they're saying like, surely death has to happen in a fight like that. There can't be no much more thing. Also, we have to also, it's kind of also interesting the fact about that devil fruit that has yet to awaken. And you have I guess the George Washington looking fellow. He kind of like, yeah. Now we have the one guy stand up and he's like, what the hell are you talking about? So pretty much we then cut back over to Wano, and I'm pretty much on the edge of the coast of Wano. We have these world government ships literally stationed right then and there, probably waiting to get the word to see if they can raid Wano. Now, why is the world government in Wano? Well, remember, Wano is not affiliated with the world government. Obviously, the world government has always been afraid of Wano to mess with it. Now, obviously, the one reasons why is, well, there is a whole ass emperor stationed in the land of Wano. So I think the world government would not want to freaking try to take over Wano while you have an emperor roaming the course. But I think with the fact that now the world government see, well, based on the outcome in this fight, say Big Mom and Kaido fall, we could probably take Wano over, and we can add that to our list of countries, which would go to show you how power hungry the world government continues to be. Yes, let's completely take over a country that is not affiliated with us and force them to be affiliated with us. So what are they going to do? They're just going to say, well, if you don't want to join us, then we're just going to kill all of you. The people that do, maybe use it like people as examples and then force Wano to join them. But obviously, we'll see where that goes. He also brings to mention the fact that, well, maybe the CP0 members should have captured Nico Robin by now, which they have yet to do. And hopefully they don't. So that's kind of the thing there. But anyways, the world government battleships are getting ready. I'm guessing they're more than likely going to be on call before they get the word to raid Wano, pretty much. But all of a sudden, you see this world government official on one of the ships. He looks up and then he sees like, wait, what the hell is that shadowy figure? Before the to be continued screen, we get a look at Zunisha in the background. Now, why is Zunisha is there? Zunisha has looked to have traveled to Wano. Why is he there? Who the hell knows? But I guess we'll see what's going to happen next. Now, in the meantime, we cut back to what the Gorosei are talking about, and the blonde guy with the blonde-haired guy, he's pretty much talking. He's like, "How could you bring that devil fruit up? What are you talking about? Why would you hide its true name of what that devil fruit is?" And in the meantime, we get kind of an image, or he goes on to say, why would the world government lie about the true name of the said devil fruit? Now the panel shows of a chest opening up, and we see a devil fruit. Even though it's silhouetted, I think you pretty much know, if you pause the screen right then and there, I think you pretty much know what devil fruit that person is talking about. And that is obviously the gum fruit right then and there, ladies and gentlemen. And pretty much the to be continued screen, when it appears, one of the Gorosei members is to hide it from the name of history. So we find out that apparently the gum fruit is not supposed to be called the gum fruit. Apparently, due to history, the world government, of course, hid its name. And obviously, the one thing it seems like these Gorosei members are all worried about is if this devil fruit awakens. So, what could be the thing about and it seems like, if Luffy awakens the gum fruit, or whatever this devil fruit is now officially going to be called, well, then it seems like this could be a very massive problem for the gut for the world government, especially the Gorosei. And they do say like we need to find a way to get our hands on that devil fruit again. So aka that means they have to kill Luffy to get it, so the devil fruit can reincarnate and somebody can find it. But it seems like they're very much worried about Luffy's devil fruit having a devil fruit awakening. Now, we know already in this fight that Law and Kid have already awakened their devil fruits. Luffy seems like he's the only one so far out of, I guess, a few worst generation members we know that have awakened their devil fruits, So, maybe that's a hint to Luffy. In order to surpassing Kaido, he's gonna have to eventually awaken his devil fruit. You know, how we see devil fruit awakening happen for the first time, who knows? But, you know, these people, the world government, or the Gorosei, look worried, and apparently the true name of the Gum Gum fruit, they hid it away for history. Because remember, the Gum Gum fruit was put in these official devil fruit booklet in the One Piece world, and they just listed it as, oh, that's the Gum Gum fruit. It just has the properties of rubber right then and there. Now, does that mean that maybe Luffy doesn't have this? Maybe Luffy has somewhat different powers and things like that. We don't know, but that's kind of the interesting thing, is the fact that one of the most interesting things coming out of this episode is that, wait, Luffy's devil fruit is not called the Gum Gum fruit, then what the hell is it called? So I guess we'll find out as the coming weeks, but solid episode. Definitely getting hyped to see, obviously, the stuff that I can't wait to see and things like that. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of One Piece, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more One Piece content or any other anime or manga content I upload to the channel. Till then, guys, stay safe out there, have a great rest of your day or night to this video. Peace.